What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Anthony the Surgeon Joshua, his new name since this morning, since the press conference. He has a direct message for Deontay Wilder. He simply tells Wilder to take his finger out of his ass. He told him that in a IFL interview because of the blackballing or the freezing out tactics that Deontay Wilder tried in regards to fighting AJ, trying to freeze him out, trying to make him not relevant, trying to make him force him into a position to either pay him more money or whatever the tactic was, or just simply not to fight him. And then Deontay now is waiting around for Tyson Fury to do whatever Tyson Fury is going to do since his mega $1 million deal with ESPN. Okay. Now, this is a good sign from Anthony Joshua, simply because a lot of people wanted him to say things when Deontay Wilder was, in fact, saying a lot of things, like coward or scared or didn't want the fight or this, that, and the other. And we were looking for a response. Well, Anthony Joshua, now since he was stateside, he's back in the UK, obviously. But while he was over here, he was on a lot of platforms and he did explain a lot of things that needed to be explained. So when a lot of people that were pro Wilder or anti Joshua, did interview them, he set the record straight, and heard it from the man himself, him. So they were more like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I get what's going on, since they hear it from his mouth, rather than from someone else like Eddie Hearn or some second source information, right? It was good for him to come on those shows like The Breakfast Club, because that's a pro Wilder crowd. And he explained like what was the deal with the negotiations and why is this and why was that. He was also on Sway's universe. So, and he got his point across. So I think he feels pretty confident about that, especially clearing up a lot of things coming forth, having interviews that a lot of the LDBC didn't even think that he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of those thought that he was going to avoid certain interviews. Well, he went to the top interviewing sources. Those podcasts are huge. Breakfast Club is huge. Sway's Universe is huge. These, this gets the word out. Okay. And a lot of people viewed those particular interviews. Just look at the views. The proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean? And he also had this to say about Lennox Lewis. Okay. I just dropped a video about Lennox Lewis, but all the negative comments. He said he hasn't really heard, the comments. So he hasn't even looked up to see what Lennox Lewis has said, but people has came back to him and said that he said nothing positive, or he said a lot of negative comments, which is true. And then AJ was simply like, well, I bet if I seen him face to face, he would probably have a different point of view from the interviewers when he was face to face with the cameraman, when he was being interviewed about me. So in other words, he would have a different point of view. He would say something different, or he would act totally different if I was in his face. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was a direct threat, but Anthony Joshua did say, he said that, that's that BS. That's that bullshit. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people say a lot of things about Anthony Joshua, but when they get around him, it's a different story. And that's what he said. That's his hypothesis, on Lennox Lewis, if he runs across Lennox Lewis. So the thing is, now I want to see what he does when he does run across Lennox Lewis, because it will be soon, or it will be somewhere down the line that these guys will meet. You know what I mean? Him and Deontay Wilder. That's the encounter I want to see. Those are the encounters that I want to see, and yeah, I mean, Anthony Joshua just simply, it reminds me of Coming to America, right? And Akeem and Simi, which is played by Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, they come over to America and all their stuff, all their attire was stolen, right? In Queens. They grabbed all their shit when they went inside to check out the apartment. Well, when they come outside, their stuff was gone. And they were like, we need these things. He's like, We're New Yorkers. We need to dress and talk like New Yorkers. So I guess that's Anthony Joshua's way of, talking like a New Yorker or an American or whatever, because he's in America, or he was in America, so he had to do what the Americans do. And a lot of us talk a gang of shit. You know what I mean? So I guess he's repaying the favor, but he's right. I mean, I think that he should be more vocal. I think people were looking for this aggressive Anthony Joshua, even in the press conferences. They were looking for that, man, when is this guy going to crack? When are we going to get a rise out of Anthony Joshua? You know what I mean? So I believe you have him. So enjoy the ride, because, you get what you ask for, right? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this video about Anthony Joshua and Lennox Lewis, his comments towards Deontay Wilder, taking his finger out his ass. Of course, guys, please subscribe, hit the like button, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.